That it is.
I want to give promotion to nobody.
What's that? I'm gonna grab your, Hey, what's up? What's up? We've got a lot to talk about tonight, along with answering all your questions.
They can't even hear you. It's
I know,
really
it's
loud.
like a party. Ooh.
It's Alfredo. Wayne, what's going on, buddy? Anthony.
We got the other one of these coming this week.
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna have two, so we can pair them together. That's pretty exciting. Now, you
Hey,
notice
guys.
that box in the back
Scott.
right there. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. That's exciting right there also. And then I got a big sheet of paper we need to talk about. But before we get on to that, this guy right here. But before we get on to that, I want to give a big shout out to Justin Murphy. Justin Murphy is like one of you guys. He's a fellow fan, but he has an incredible classic Rockford Fosgate amplifier collection. It's huge.
Really?
Yes. And he sent me some pictures, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're amazing. He's also a big fan of, why do I always forget the names? The stuff Steve has. Hybrid? Yep. Hybrid audio. He's a big fan of hybrid audio.
I was like the SMD?
No, the other Steve.
Well, that's what he has.
The other Steve. This is our calendar. This is where we keep track of all the cool events that we've had scheduled for you guys. Hey, Dean and Fernando, I'm wondering what y'all thoughts on the FI audio subs. I'm looking around 1 Neo 18. I have honestly
huge.
never held one.
No.
Oh wait, I take that back. A friend of mine, Danny, used to have a set.
No. You know what? Take
Oh.
it back. We installed one.
We did?
And yes,
I don't remember.
Exploder.
Oh, okay.
I
Hey,
think
from
that was
Calgary.
115. 115 Fi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a picture of that, and that was huge.
Yeah.
Gigantic.
I mean,
Really
they've
nice.
always. I've
Nice
never had anything bad
Yeah.
with FI.
Hi
I
from
guess
Norway, Ohio, Cleveland.
No, but how's the weather? The weather right here is still in the 80s.
Mm.
So it's fluctuating between humid and not humid. So, anyways, back to this. This is 12
UK.
Days of Christmas this year. We're still thinking about that, Scott.
I know.
We're still trying to figure out if that's something we want to do in California, Arkansas, Wisconsin. But okay. Let's talk about the calendar first, and then we'll get back to the 12 Days of Christmas. So this week, this Monday on the Facebook show, which is where a lot of this is going to happen. So you guys will get to see the rebroadcast and or check it out.
Yep.
We're going to have John Myers from Kicker. Now, for those of you that have followed Overhauling, he was the guy from Kicker that was on Overhauling. So he's going to be here Monday along with Lori. Lori's our gal.
You guys
She's gonna
remember
be here
Lori?
They'll be here Monday. The following week, the 19th, it's just pure Q&A. We'll do Q&A. Because that's anytime we do like back-to-back guests, we like to do Q&As in there. But Thanksgiving is the 22nd of November. For those of you out of the country, Thanksgiving is where we eat turkey. It's the holiday where we celebrate eating turkey.
When we eat.
For the past, I think last year we started. We do a live show in the morning.
Yeah.
So at like 10 o'clock we go live from the beach.
Yes.
So we're gonna bring that back this year. So it's gonna be me.
I hope
gonna
it's
be
not that
Fernando.
windy.
Hope it's not windy either. It'll be
Yeah.
Haley. The three of us are gonna do a live show Monday, Thanksgiving. That's the 22nd, and that'll be here on YouTube.
Yeah.
So we do a YouTube live. So and then we're gonna be working Saturday, so we'll have another YouTube live. But we're gonna have a special Thanksgiving Day YouTube live in the morning.
Yep.
So if you don't want to be watching the silly stuff, you can watch us for an hour. That'll be fun. Then on the 26th, the Facebook Live Facebook Live show, there will be another Q&A, followed up by Tuesday is going to be Ernie Hartman from AMP, and he is the head of tech support there. So like when you guys call up and ask questions, that's his department.
Yeah.
He's also, before he got that, he was also the guy that vetted most of the pack products. So
But
like the AMP Pros and stuff. He'll tell us all about that. He's also MECP Master certified, as well as he wrote part of the manual. So that'll be fun. And then on the 3rd of December, we're going to have Nathan. Now Nathan's going to be fun. Nathan is actually the head of PAC, but he's also a close friend of mine. And we started together. So we both started AVE together. So we're not going to talk about PAC. We're going to talk about ancient history of Dean. So and
Again?
and Nathan. But it'll be fun. So we'll talk some about PAC, but that's gonna be awesome. What's up, fellas? Finally caught the live show. Cool, Johnny.
Yeah, here it's 6 o'clock afternoon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Y'all silly.
Yeah,
Okay, so then on the 10th.
What's up, Johnny?
So that's on the 10th. So basically what we're doing is the month of Christmas. And if
Yeah.
you guys aren't familiar with the month of Christmas, go check out The Boring Life of Dean and Haley here on YouTube.
Yep.
And Haley will
Compressors
tell you all
off.
about the month of Christmas. It's actually
It's
2
not
months
from
of
New
Christmas.
York.
Anyways, on the 10th,
Yeah.
we're going to have Bill,
Bill?
which you guys remember from the live show,
Bill Freeman.
and Sajecki, that's his boss, but we're going to have Bill and Sajecki from MAG Sales, which is our Kenwood, Audison Hertz, Morel. Anyways, we're going to have them on, and we're going to do a Q&A with those guys. So that ought to be fun, because we already know everything there is to know about those guys. We thought it'd be cool to have them on, and we're going to do a Q&A with them and talk about stuff and just basically have a good time. It's going to be like loose. We're going to talk about all, because Mike has a lot of, he's been doing this a long time like me, and Bill has been doing it a long time. So it ought to be
What's up,
fun.
Tony?
So that's going to be, and then if that isn't enough, December 17th, we're going to have Jeff Smith on.
Jeff Smith.
Who is the national sales trainer for PAC. You guys also, he's the longest show we've ever had on Facebook. We're going to have him on there again for Q&A. So it's going to be straight Q&A.
He can answer your questions.
And we're going to have lots of fun with that.
Yep.
And then, as if that wasn't enough, we're going to do one more show on the 20th, which we're going to have Nalika from Orca, who's the owner.
Yeah.
And Orca, for those of you guys who don't know, is the company that here in the United States runs Focal, Gladen, and Moscone. So we're going to have him on.
Yep.
And then that'll be it. So then the following week after that is the 24th, which is that funky holiday we have here, which is Christmas Eve. And then the week after that is the 31st. So both of those fall on a Monday. We're going to take a week off. I'm going to tell you right now, between the 24th and the 31st, we're going
it's
black.
Just like holiday,
we're gonna go dark.
man.
But along with other shows we're going to have, I know what you're saying, we're going to get to your questions, don't worry. We're going to have the top 10 things. This is going to be probably on Black Friday. We're going to release a video of the top 10 things that you should buy your car audio fanatic husband.
Like a
gift. So
What's
we're
that,
gonna
car
do
gift?
Top 10 gifts that you should buy. And it's going to be the three of us. And they're saying the three of us. So it's going to be me, it's going to be Fernando, and it's going to be Jason. You guys know him as Fro's House from Stereo Kings up there in Oregon. He's going to video in his picks.
Yep.
So we're going to have the top 10 things you guys should have or ask for stocking stuffers. And cool. So you can just go, honey, watch this.
Watch this
Buy
and
me
just
any
pick
one
me.
of these. Or buy me number 2 from Dean. Or buy me number 4
Buy
from
me
Fernando.
everything from here.
Buy me everything from this list.
That's it.
Now in the past we've done it to where we've combined them. But this year I'm going to do 10. He's going to do 10. Jason's going to do 10. So there'll be some overlap. But there's almost 30 different things there. So it's going to be fun.
Yes.
After that, we're going to do the top 5 2018 touchscreens.
Okay.
Okay, so
Top
it's going to
five,
be top
just
5
five.
touchscreens. My 5, his 5, Jason's 5.
All right.
And then to wrap that all up,
Yep.
we're going to do the top 3 technologies for 2018. So that'll be the top 3 things that I thought were cool this year, the top 3 things he thought was cool,
That's
and then
right,
the top
Sean.
3 things that Jason
It's
thought
gonna
was
be
cool.
in the DNF tool drawer.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so that's my homework.
Yep.
So we got a lot of stuff coming. It's gonna be fun.
Yep.
I want you guys to. I want this end
I'm
of the
excited
year.
about
I want the
football.
end of the year to be a lot of fun. You're excited. So we put this calendar together. It's gonna be a lot. I know some of you guys don't do Facebook. I apologize.
What's up
We're
from
gonna-
London?
You know, it's gonna be on YouTube, and of course, there's always the
California.
Tuesday rebroadcast show. So if you guys aren't watching those, stream them as a podcast.
Yeah.
Speaking of the podcast,
What's up from South Africa?
Patreon gets you the video podcast.
Thank you.
We've got 5 up already.
Mhm.
We got 2 more in the can that are going to be going up in the next couple days or next weeks. So there's 2 more weeks, and then we're filming. We're almost to the point where we're getting to where we think we can almost do it every week. But right now we're promising at least 2 a week, 2 a month.
Yeah. Slow down.
2 a month. So podcast is good. If you want to get in on the video podcast, become a Patreon member. Otherwise, you can still download the audio version of the podcast at iTunes, Podbeam, and Google Play Store. Now, as I was teasing, we got this box back here that says Morel on it. And you guys are definitely going to want to see what's in this box. Does anybody not want to see what's in the box?
¿Qué pasa, Ismael?
I don't care. We're going to see what's in the box. So, Now,
I
this
know,
box-
man. Bluetooth. Everybody's waiting for the Bluetooth module.
Don't worry, I'll have more information on the Bluetooth module next week.
Yes.
I'm talking with Chris right now.
No, not right now. You
No, I was talking
right
with him
now.
before the show, and I didn't want to ask him because it's the weekend.
What happened? Are you okay?
No, I'm not. I'm in a lot of pain. That's another story.
Why you don't put it in the...
these are on loan to us.
Yeah.
From Bill and Sajecki. They
Yeah.
are the Morel reps. So this is the Virtus Nano Carbon. Okay, looks like a UFO. Now, if you guys follow me on Instagram at 5star Dean, you saw a picture of these. I was holding them in a parking lot. Well, they finally made their way back to us. Okay, so this is a 6.5-inch mid base. All right, look at that. Now, I know what you're gonna say.
What?
Well, how do they sound?
Exactly.
How do they sound? Don't worry.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
Yes.
Because along with them letting us hold them,
What's
I
that,
said,
Clean
listen, man,
G35?
if you're not gonna give them to us so that we can at least put them in Fernando's car to hear what they sound like,
Yeah.
what's the point?
Yeah.
So these are gonna go in Fernando's car. So in the next couple weeks, hopefully you guys are gonna see a car audio lab. I gotta remember the names I have for these shows, where we actually are going to put these in his car and we are going to play them
Yep.
and hear how they sound. So aren't these awesome? Now, I've also been talking with Casey at Morel. He's going to give us a bunch of cool tech docs, and they actually have a cutaway of it. There's a lot of neat things. Ooh, almost dropped
Don't
it.
drop it.
I know, right? So there's a lot of neatness going on with this guy. I honestly can't wait to hear it, and I know
What
you
size
guys
voice call is that?
I have-
How about this?
I have
How about
no
if you wait?
idea.
Yes.
Yeah. We
because
hon-
we're gonna do a whole
Yeah.
full review in this these speakers.
Yeah, so this is going to get a full treatment. I just want to tease this for you guys
Yeah.
because, you know, ooh, I mean, dude, look at that. I mean, isn't
Yeah.
that silly? Oh, yeah, and like you said, put it right in the headliner, right above your head. Oh, very good, very good.
You can install it in the headliner. It's
Yeah.
so thin.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So
dude.
we got these. We're excited. We're super excited for these, but luckily they're gonna let us put them in because that's
Yeah.
a lot of the times when we get stuff like this,
It's like,
they're
no,
like, hey, look here,
just
touch
touch
feel.
it.
And it's like,
That's it.
oh gosh, that
Yeah.
sucks.
What's
Now-
the first response to that?
Couple things.
Yeah.
One more thing that I want to talk about is so every now and then you have to be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
And there's unfortunately sometimes when you ask for something and you actually get it, you're like, man, that sucks. Well, today
I did it.
I asked for something, I've been asking for something, and I got it, and man, that sucks. So, one of the things I've been asking for, and it's funny for you guys in the video that watch the podcast, the next podcast you're going to get, we didn't have this information yet, so it's going to be wrong in the podcast, but we're going to tell you guys now. So, one of the things that I've been asking for from Pioneer is a black box. Take their
Yeah.
DSP, put it in a box, and sell it. It'd probably do pretty well.
Yeah.
I, of course, was thinking that they would take it to the next level and make something that's really cool.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. But what they did do is they came out with a product here that's called a DEQ-S1000A.
Yeah.
And what it is it's a black box. It's going to be controlled from your smartphone. I have a picture of it here. There's not really much to see. What they did is they took like a single DIN radio that has like not a PRS-80, but something like the 8800. They pulled it apart, pulled the screen off, took the guts out of it, and they have what is now called their DSP. It has one channel, one stereo
Input.
channel of input that is either going to be high level or low level.
Yeah.
It's going to have 50 watts by 4. Okay. 6 channel, 4 volt preamp output. These are going to be network mode or standard mode, meaning you can use it as a 3-way set. High, mid, low, or
Yeah.
you can use it as front, rear, sub. Basically the same exact EQ DSP
As the Pioneer
that
radios.
is in the radios. The only difference is it's going to be using the new smartphone app. So if you're using the app instead of the little goofy controller it comes with, you do get a 32 band EQ from your phone.
Yep.
But not from the unit. That's only going to be 13 bands. So, but it's the same processor that's in all the radios. So it's got the predetermined basic crossover points. It's got the predetermined 13 bands of equalization. That is just one. It's not front, rear, sub. It's just 13 bands for the whole thing. So it's going to be a very basic. Yes, at least it's 4 volt output.
At
But
least
I
it's
think
4
at this
volt,
point
yeah.
all of them are 4 volt
What's
output.
up, Bobby? This nuts in the hose.
Now I'm not a price guy, but this thing's probably going to be in about the $200 range.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we get it, we'll tell you more about it, but they just introduced that this week. They also introduced 4 new enclosures
Yeah.
that have subwoofers in them.
Yes.
And then Rockford also introduced 3 new wedge-style truck enclosures. So basically, for those of you guys that are familiar with the P312, P310, now they have a P300, 10, 12, and 8, but in a truck wedge.
Yeah.
So it's the same subwoofer, the same amplifier, the same everything.
They call P312T.
Yeah, for truck. So we'll have some of those on. We're just waiting to get the 8 in. As soon as we get all 3 of them in, of course, we'll do a review and we'll tell you all about them. But yeah, watching Down Under. All right, so do I have anything else I need to tell anybody?
No.
Does it make sense getting an amplifier for my door speakers? God,
Definitely,
yes.
definitely.
Yes. So thank you. As if I didn't need a topic to talk about. One of the biggest things that people make that they just totally space out about. Could you box this stuff back up?
Yeah,
so we can put
yeah.
the box back there.
I have
Is
what?
What's the problem?
No, he has one of those DSPs already in the car currently.
Oh, it's a possibility.
Nice. Installing. It's not bad. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you've got a Pioneer radio, you have the DSP. I mean, that's that. I mean, it's the same DSP.
Oh, so you have a DSP?
Yeah, you've got the DSP. It's not going to be bad. It's just one input.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It's $200, so it's going to sell great. But it's not a DSR1 or a.
Oh no, nothing
Anyways,
like yeah.
So the question that a lot of people come in and they'll ask and they'll be like, "Hey man, I want my system louder." What? And they've already got, let's say, 212s and a 500 or 1,000 watt amp. I was thinking about getting 412s or 410s or going to 15s or going from 10s to 12s, and I'm like, okay, scale this conversation back a bit. Let's start. What do you have in there? It's like, I got 212s and a 5 to 1,000 watt amplifier. I said, what else? I put a radio in. What else do you have? That's it. All right, so what you're telling me is you want to make it louder, and you feel the only way you can make it louder is moving the one speaker in your car that's the hardest to move and make louder, the subwoofer. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. If you buy an amp for your highs, they're easy to make loud. Okay, as you know, you got 18 watts from a deck going to them, and they sound okay.
Yeah.
Imagine what they'd sound like if you put 50 to 100 watts of power to them.
Oh
they're going to sound incredibly loud.
Yes.
And they're going to be, for one, that IC power chip that's in your radio sucks because it's an IC power chip. It's not a real amplifier.
Yeah.
It's the difference between a match and a flamethrower. So, by all means, buy an amp for your highs, cross them over the way they're supposed to be, and let them play, and your system will love you for it because it will sound so much better.
So much
Dean rocking the DEI shirt back in the day, solid install, thousands of Vipers. Yeah, they gave us that Knowledge Fest. So I just want to have it because otherwise, we don't sell enough for them to give us a free T-shirt.
All right.
So anyways, hope that helps. Okay.
All right, so now that we talk about 4 channels and everything, which one do you prefer? The 4-channel punch or the power? It's worth the money spending
Punch.
for the power.
I'm buying the punch.
Definitely I'm buying
If I'm buying a full-size Rockford amplifier, I'm buying the punch. And the reason why is not that there's anything wrong with the power. The power is a good, solid, well-built, tried and true amplifier.
Yes.
Okay? But that's it. That's where it stops.
Yeah.
Now, the punch amplifier, because it's more reasonably priced, has been an amplifier that they've been actually able to develop
Yep.
and make more iterations of. So the current iteration of the punch amplifier has all of Rockford's coolest new technology. Now, the Power Series small Ts that you guys see, is the little tiny guys, those have all that technology too. But the bigger T-Series powers have not been updated. And the reason why they haven't is because, for one, what they want to do to them will bring the price up way too high. So they're just leaving them the way they are. There's nothing wrong with them. Power is power, and they're good power.
Power.
But I like the new punch better as far as it's easier to install, it's easier to set up because it has a distortion detector built into it. Much nicer. Are the older punch amps better than new? No, that's the no. I mean, that's the thing. The punch amp gets re-revved so much that it's like,
All right. What box do you recommend for under the seat 2004 Chevy Silverado, and what kind of subs? Well, subs personally, the Kicker.
The Kicker Comp RTs are Shalimar favorites for sure.
For the box,
A-Trend maybe?
A-Trend box, it has really nice boxes.
Okay. if Foxbox has one that will fit your car,
It's 2004, man.
there again, if Foxbox has one that will fit your car, hey man, those rednecks, they build stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me
Go
shut this.
check it out.
If Foxbox makes ones for your car and you want some crazy bass,
Yeah.
definitely check out the Foxbox, because damn.
Okay, Damian asked you like 3 times this question. Are Tesla-style aftermarket TVs are any good?
So when we were at
Knowledge Fest.
we played with the Lynxwells, I think it was. Was it that what it's called? Hold on, I think I got his card right here.
Yeah, I have the like the flyer. So we went to Knowledge Fest,
Lynxwells,
and we saw
Lynxwells was at Knowledge Fest. That's this company right here. It's really okay. Forget it. It's LINKSWELL. And they had theirs there that we were able to play with. And
they have for the Mustang.
They had it for a couple cars.
Yes.
Anyways, and they had the Universal one too. The speed was good. The GUI interface wasn't bad.
No.
Meaning it was usable. It was totally usable. It's like if you gave it to me, I'd be like, I could hit buttons and it would do stuff. And I was like, oh, this isn't bad. Where it fell flat, sound quality. They're not made for sound at all. They're made for convenience. They're not made for sound. So if all you're trying to do is convenience,
go for it.
if you're trying to get sound out of them, you're going to need to buy that for convenience and something for sound. You know, like a DSP of some kind.
It's not a bad idea.
That's really the only way to make those playable. Now they have a full thing of stuff in them, but it's still low voltage output, very basic EQs, and they sound like crap. So,
all right, I have a quick one for you. You ever run power wire under the vehicle?
No.
No.
But that's not to say you can't. You can, however, the one thing you got is just, I mean, we run camera wires in other vehicles all the time.
Yeah.
The reason why we do is because we insulate them. If you're going to run like a 0 gauge or something like that underneath the car, you can do it. There's nothing wrong with it. The only thing you have to do is make sure you insulate it. What I would strongly suggest do is go into Home Depot or Lowe's and buy that the sheathing that they sell. They sell a rubber sheathing that you can mount up underneath the car that will insulate that wire.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
You just need to make sure that it's insulated, because if you just take a 0 gauge and zip tie it up underneath your car, man, it gets hot underneath there. That's a bad idea. Just insulate it, and then you're fine.
All right, where can I find these wires?
Okay, so those are the Stinger X. These are actually not available yet. So, well, okay, I take that back. There's one store chain that has them, but these are not available for us to buy yet.
No, not yet.
So that was kind of a teaser that John was doing. So,
but like, if you can look, Stinger.
They're not going to be available until January.
Right.
That's just it.
Yeah.
The problem was they brought them in. They sold all of them, and they were like, "Oh crap!"
Wow! I didn't know they were gonna sell this.
One vendor bought them all, so one dealer bought them all, and they were like, "Oh, this kind of sucks." So now what they're doing is they're having more made, and they're just going to release the product to us in January. Now the thing is you're not going to be able to buy them online. You're going to have to buy them from an actual dealer. That's what makes the Stinger X series different from the other Stinger series. Is this is going to be what these manufacturers call a protected line. A protected line is something that you either A, have to be authorized to sell it on the internet, or B, so like eBay, Amazon, stuff like that, are not supposed to have these products. So they're made specifically to be sold at an independent retailer.
All right, in 2013, a Core 7-speaker system topped the preamp or the amp.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Okay. On the 2013
Yes.
Honda Accord.
Yes.
7-speaker system amplifier, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Tap the preamps
Yes.
and the amp. Like,
okay, if it's the one that has the amplifier up in the kick panel, you can just add preamps right to it. You go before the amplifier. You can just go right before the amplifier and solder in some RCAs. I will tell you this though, that the tweeter wires have capacitors on them from the factory, but the wires are buried in the dash. So if you are going to be hooking up tweeters to them, don't use the factory wiring for the tweeters. Run new wiring to your tweeters. Don't use the anyways. But yeah, preamp section, if it's got that amp in the kick, just solder on some RCAs, you're done. Is there any way to make a porta box sound like or a sealed box and porta box? Can you make a porta box sound like a it was something like that. Can you make a sealed box sound like a porta box or a porta box sound like a sealed box? The answer is no. They're two totally different animals, and you're correct. Yeah, they're crazy. Besides Stinger Pioneer, what else do you sell? Okay, you're ready? Obviously, we sell Morel.
Yeah.
We're gonna also sell Audison Hertz. We sell Focal. We sell Kenwood. We sell Alpine. We sell Scar. We sell Rockford. We sell Kicker. We sell iData. We sell Directed. We sell.
We sell a lot, man.
We sell
Scar.
I said Scar.
Scar.
We have some smaller things that we get in, like some DS18 products, some audio pipe, and some
American
crunch.
bass.
We get some American bass in. Those are small, unique products that we just usually get from vendors. We're not like full dealers for those products. Yeah. But everything I mentioned before that, we're actually authorized. We buy direct from the manufacturer. So we're one of
Hyphonics. Yeah, we sell Hyphonics a little bit.
Morel, which Morel is equal to the K2s? Hang on. Keep going. You can talk.
Okay. All right. So let me see if I can find over here.
I just so happen to have a Morel book right here because I took one home and they're nice. K2s, let's see, we got the titaniums, and then it's going to be the titaniums. The Alante titanium. Because we got the Supremo. Yeah, so Supremo is going to be your crazy, and then you have the Elate, E-L-A-T-E, titanium. No, it's Elate.
Elate.
Because it's like Virtus. It's all Latin. So the Elates, these guys here, which I know that's like the crappiest thing ever, but I'm sorry. The other thing to check out too, if you don't want to go that crazy, is they actually have one down from that, which is called the Hybrid. These are what we just put in that Mazda RX-7. We put 2 sets of the Integra. Anytime you see Integra in the title of a Morel speaker, that means it's a coaxial. We did 2 sets of coaxials in that, and it was amazing how, oh my God, the imaging on it was hilariously amazing. I mean, we were shocked that we could get those things to image. Can you add mid-bass blockers to mid-bass speakers? Why? Well, yeah, a mid-bass blocker would be a coil, though, so it'd be easier to do it passively or actively through some form of processor. But yeah, you design your own crossover.
All right, question. On a cars like GM with Bose, I need a 2-ohm speakers.
Yes.
What do you think, or have you ever installed a 4-ohm speaker with a tweeter so you can lower the impedance on the envelope?
Okay, so the real problem with the Bose and the GM is not so much that it's a 2-ohm speaker, it's an oddly ohmed speaker, and they typically just don't perform the same. At the end, really what you lose is some volume. You'll still get sound. The other thing too is like if it's a mid-bass driver, you can't add a coaxial because it's actively crossed over from the Bose amplifier. So even if you added a tweeter, you're not going to hear it because the sound isn't there. Obviously, the best situation would be just to replace it all. If you like the way it sounded, you can always buy the factory speaker and put it back in. It just really depends. Sometimes when we get these cars that have these really strange ohm loads in them and they're trying to retain the factory system, it's easier for us just to go to the manufacturer, like let's say in this case GM, buy those speakers and then install them.
Yeah.
Because it's not cost effective by any stretch of the imagination, but that's what the customer wants. So like I like the factory sound, I want to repair it and get it back to where it was. It's like, okay, well, you're gonna have to spend this amount of money to buy this factory Bose speaker, and we'll do that. I mean, it's not what I like to do, but sometimes you have to do that. Because what happens is, let's say you go buy like an Infinity or a JBL 3.3 ohm speaker or something like that. They typically don't sound good in those situations. So ripping it all out and starting over is usually the best.
All right. Hey guys, most people go for closed boxes. Some bass reflex.
Yeah.
Where's your opinion on the Infinite Bolt?
On the what? Infinite baffle?
Infinite baffle.
Infinite baffle works really well as long as you can make a baffle. That's the key. Nathan, which we can talk about when he comes on the show, he used to have 4 Orion XTR IBs, infinite baffles, and what he did was you have to totally insulate the front of the driver from the back of the driver. I mean totally insulated. There can be no air leaking around, because anytime there's air leaking around, it's no longer in front of baffle. You've totally killed it. So in his case, he used like 3 layers of plywood to build this baffle, and then siliconed it in, and then it was incredible, but wow. it dropped like a mother. But yeah. So, what is your opinion of best DSP? So that's a great question, and we've been doing a lot of talking about that. And one of the things that we've been talking about is not necessarily what DSP is better than the other, because there's so many of them now. It's what DSP makes the most sense to you, because when you're using these DSPs, though, it's like a camera. You point it, you press a button.
Yeah.
A DSP, they're going to have a 32-band EQ, they're going to have a crossover, they're going to have time correction, they're going to have some form of volume control for each channel. Yay! And for that, that's cool. But it's finding those things and figuring out how to use them. I'm a Canon shooter when I have a camera. If you hand me a Nikon or a Sony, I look at you and go, what is this? Because I don't know how to use them. I'm used to setting up a Canon. We use the DSR-1s, we use the iData, we use the audio control. I have the Phoenix Gold sitting over here. I've played with it a little. We have the Alpine. It really just comes down to what's comfortable for you. So I recommend downloading the software and playing with it and see if it makes sense to you. Wrap your head around it. If it does, that's the DSP you want to buy, because they're all within that same, let's say, $300 to $1,000. It's, many steps in between. So just buy the one that you think, will do what you need.
All right, let's see. I'm trying to find
there's no app for the remote. They also, I don't know. Okay, Focal. ES, Case 2.
Steve Weston, if you can ask the question again, it's a lot of questions. I can go back, but if you can ask the question again, that would be nice.
So on questions, real quick, somebody in the live show, the Facebook show, was complaining about me not answering questions. So last 28 days, because that's how it rotates through on YouTube, is they tell me the analytics for 28 days. I had 3,009 questions in 28 days. So if I didn't get to yours, I'm sorry, but that's impossible for me to answer.
Yeah, so, and it's like, that's why we try to make this show every week. So if you don't have the opportunity to hear you answer for the question that you asked, just try next week. We try to get it. Some people ask 3 times, 4 times. So.
We get to it eventually. Yeah. Now, guy asked, what's better, the Morel Elates or the K2s? And that's a trick question in that, for me, okay, if you could split hairs, which, I have some split ends, it's okay. It really comes down, that's a nearly impossible question to answer because they're 2 totally different approaches to speakers. Yeah. Okay? The Morel is going to be I'm going to use the word slow because it has a big voice coil, has a gigantic silk soft dome tweeter, and silk could just mean cloth tweeter. The the Focal is totally opposite. It has a smaller voice coil, and it has a metal tweeter. That metal tweeter is going to be fast, and it's going to be sharp, and it's going to be in your face. Yeah. Not Rockford Fosgate in your face, but a little bit more in your face than, let's say, a Morel. And that's why I personally like the Morel, because my ears, high frequency, are really high frequency sensitive, even though I can't hear all that well. Yeah. It's tough. So I like the sound of Morels. Fernando, on the other hand, loves that sharp tweeter, and I'm only using the word sharp because it's metal. It's not harsh by any stretch of the imagination. One of the things that every time we do a K2 system, I explain to people, I'm like, okay, so now you've heard us talk about K2s, you're doing K2s, you're hearing K2s. You understand when I say I can't describe a K2, you just have to hear it? Yeah. And they go, every one of them's gone, yeah, it's a K2. These speakers at this level are phenomenal. Yeah. Phenomenal. The problem is they're expensive, so you want to make sure you get the right one. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be disappointed with either one of them.
Next two.
That's that. That's
Yeah.
the easiest way to think of it. Fred from Alaska. What's
up,
going
Fred?
on, Fred?
I asked a second ago if you guys did.
No, it goes, I like Morels and Android phones.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can be half friends.
There you go. And Pepsi. Okay.
Focus, Coca-Cola, Morels, Pepsi. Oh,
Oh
hell
my
no, it's
God.
not. No, gosh, no.
Nah,
But
nah.
if we're looking at popularity, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good call.
Yeah.
But I hate Pepsi.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hate Coke. You love Coke, though.
I love
so.
Coke. That's what I like.
Yeah,
No, it's not like that.
Different kind of
It's just
Coke. Different
different.
kind of Coke. Oh, okay. How many of you guys remember New Coke? Yeah?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was New Coke. Then it was Coca-Cola Classic.
I asked
we
a
screwed
second
up.
ago if you guys didn't want people's car.
Oh, Clean 35 just got a set of Focal 3-way components.
Oh no, he three-way. Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Ah,
Carter,
nice.
he's back.
Okay, so do you guys didn't want people's cars for cut?
Do I do what now?
DD1.
Oh,
cars.
DD1 for cost.
Um,
It really, okay, using a DD1, it just depends. The problem is we're real busy.
Yeah.
Okay, so just going out to play with somebody's car, there's a few things that you have to remember. In order to use a DD1, all your speakers have to be disconnected. So, you have to show up with an amplifier that has nothing connected to it, and we have to go out there, and it's still going to
Yeah.
take anywhere between a half hour to an hour. So it just depends on how much time we have.
Yeah.
Plus the other thing too is everything has to be easily accessible. So it's not saying that we can't do it. It's just not the easiest thing for us to do. But yeah.
Yeah,
But if
right.
you want to do it yourself, remember you don't need a DD1. What you want to pick up is this guy here. We've talked about it before. The
Yep.
Lumi. For those of you guys that haven't seen a Lumi in action, well, of course
Hi
we're
from
gonna,
Alaska.
We're
What's
gonna be
going on?
playing
What's
with
up,
this
Christian?
more, which is the LM2001 Lumi.
Mhm.
Okay, I believe we have it on the tool drawer. If we don't, just look up Lumi, Liumy. Now this is a digital multimeter with an oscilloscope, and if you'd like to see how this works and how you can use it in your car, check out the video we just did on the WaveTech Link T. Okay, it was 2 videos back or 3 videos back. We just did it this week, and we show you with that. We show you with the DD1, and we show you with a big oscilloscope how to use these things to set your gains. Okay, and of course, like any video we do, we always try to show you guys multiple ways to do things. That thing's like $75-$80. For $75-$80, everyone should have one of these in their toolkit for going out and doing installation.
Mhm.
That and a polarity tester. Okay.
All right.
Love my Lumi. Exactly. Christian bought one. All right.
Gunner, most of the time we use the kits. The other
Pepsi.
time when it's like the trucks are kind of long, like really long, we grab the spool and grab and measure the wire from the front to the back.
For power wire?
From power wire.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you know
Now,
anywhere?
one thing we did find out
Yeah.
when John was here, Stinger kits are 18 feet and not
18
17 feet. And
Yes.
that one extra foot, you guys know what I mean.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving on. Do you guys know anywhere besides Rockford website to get the replacement wire remote for the 360?
No, Rockford.
They are out of stock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rockford's it,
Rockford,
man.
yeah.
It's either that or unless you can find one on eBay that someone's selling one. But yeah, Rockford's the manufacturer, so if they, that piece is constantly on out of stock. Like they get it in and they're gone. I think they order like 10 at a time. Yeah, because I know we were trying to get one for Jeff at some point.
Yeah.
And it took us like 2 or 3 months just to get it.
I have a Morel Tempo Ultra 692.
Ooh.
Will the Morel Virtu 603 make the big difference in
Yeah.
sound quality?
So the difference between a Tempo and the Elate, did he say which one did you say?
The Morel Tempo Ultras
And then what's the upgrade?
and the Virtu 603.
Oh, the Virtus. I don't know what I was
Yeah.
thinking of late. Virtus. Yeah, there's a big
Yeah.
difference between the two. Basically, when you're looking at Morel, until you get to the Virtus line, the Virtus and up are made in-house at Morel. The Virtus and down, or I'm sorry, everything below the Virtus is not made in-house. So, yes, the Virtus is a much nicer sounding speaker. The tempos are credible because they're still using an oversized voice coil compared to anyone else in the market. But when you get up to the next level, you're getting to the next level.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, here
All
we
right.
go.
Hey guys, can a factory microphone be reused? I'm installing a Pioneer double DIN and I don't want the mic hanging from the pillar. I have a
Understandable.
2006 350C with a factory hands-free is the microphone next to my lights.
So no, you can't reuse the factory microphone.
No.
However, you can reuse the factory microphone location. Okay, so go to the install bay videos or just search like Jeep factory Bluetooth mic relocation.
Just go to one of those Jeeps.
But
install.
basically, we show you how to do it in a Jeep, and it's the same for pretty much any car. The idea is that you just want to put your microphone in there and aim it in the direction of where you're going to be sitting, and then make sure you put some kind of batting over the back of it so you don't hear all this noise that's in the headliner. But yeah, you could totally reuse your factory location if you want to.
Thank you, Christian.
You just can't reuse your factory mic. There's a couple of reasons. One, the wiring is different, and they're not made to interact. Some microphones are 3-wire, some microphones are 2-wire. Sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. But the main reason is that the Bluetooth is tuned for that microphone and not for a different microphone. That's not to say that it won't sound better, but it will definitely have the potential to sound worse. So use the location, but keep your Pioneer microphone.
All right, this is one of your favorites. I have a Kenwood 503 BT in my Firebird with an Access steering wheel control.
Yay!
And it only works every once in a while. Yeah. And when it stops working, it doesn't, the radio buttons temporarily. Any tips?
It's probably a bad steering wheel. Okay? You know, we carry Access, that steering wheel control. We also carry all the packs, and we carry the iData. If iData makes something for your car, that's going to be the easiest one as far as programming goes, because you actually program it on your laptop. You tell it what you want it to do. You just go in, you wire it, and it works. Pack, you do a learning. If you get like a CP2, it's pre-programmed. So when you flick the dip switches on it, it's set and ready to go. If you need to redo it, though, you have to do a push, 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 like you guys have seen in the videos. The RC is push, push, push. 2. The problem that happens in the older Chevys is that the contacts just go bad. So my guess is it's probably not it's probably not their interface. It's probably just it can't read what's coming from your steering wheel control anymore because the buttons are just getting old.
All right. So and this is for Steve Weston too. He actually had one of the same problems. So if you can try different steering wheel controls.
But that I would look at a minimum of a CP2. Or just go straight to the iData piece.
And for the G35, it's the same. CP2 that would be nice.
Nissans, have the same problem. The buttons just in the steering wheel go bad. I mean, for those of you guys that are old like me, you remember Ataris, and they had one button and a joystick. And guess what always went bad? The one button. It just collapsed. They get old. So buttons don't last forever. Yeah. And when you use them a lot, like volume, steering wheel, and stuff like that, they just go bad. It's a car. They were only made to be driven for 5 years. That's the loan. So, guy was talking about how he has some of the Morel and deadening all the way. Yes, they're good. Deaden the doors. Deaden the doors. Make the metal not vibrate. It will sound better.
Definitely. Fast rings, people. No, I haven't seen the pictures yet, but I'm going to see it on Instagram. I'm gonna check.
Yeah. DS. Okay, this might be something you know more about than I do. DS 18 Pro or Scar Pro for mids and highs.
Well, oof.
That would be you.
Well, but depends what kind of Scar, because Scar make totally different.
Yeah, but we're comparing Pro, so we're gonna go loud. We're going louds.
I mean, because we sell DSP. I'm gonna go
honestly,
with Scar.
I look at this as the same question we had between K2, Focal, and Morel. Because they're very similar.
Yeah.
They're very similar.
They're very similar, but not.
Really?
No.
I don't know. I've never by choice looked at either one.
No, but when you talk about, do you want to add the K2s or the KX2? It's like.
But I mean, we're talking. I'm just saying the DS18s versus the Scars.
Yeah.
Is there? I mean,
Is something there?
There again. This
DS18 over a Scar. There you go.
So this was a topic we actually had for one of our podcasts, and I don't think it's out for. I don't know if it's out for anybody yet.
Yeah.
Which I think it's the Patreon is going to get it next, or they just got it. Either way, it's a topic that is heated. And it falls back onto the simple thing: if you're not on my team, you suck. Okay?
Exactly.
Hey, it's Jason. What's up, buddy?
Jason? We just talked about Jason a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about him earlier. Sorry, it was all good though. Think about this for a minute. If you're not on my team, you suck is something that the world has turned into. And I mean that because, like, you love a product. You love a product so much that you're blind to the fact of other products might be better or might be different, and that different could be good. Keeping an open mind is not something we're taught as individuals. We're very closed-minded and we're very, like, loyal. You know, if you wear Nikes, you wear Nikes, you wear Nikes, okay? Yep. I ran with Newton tennis shoes and I just switched to Cloud because I like the Clouds. The Clouds actually feel better. I love the Newtons and I just unfortunately spent $250 on new Newtons and bought a pair of Clouds just to buy them and ran with them, and I was like, holy crap, my feet feel better. Now I gotta go buy newer, more shoes. Yay! But if you're closed-minded and you're really like, oh, it's this or nothing, you're it's not gonna be fun. Now, I get football teams. Yeah. I get that. You know, if you're a Steelers fan, your blood is yellow. I mean, black and gold, baby. It's just how it is. I get you guys. Yeah. But that's okay. But
it's in everything.
Sometimes you just have to keep an open mind, you know. One brand is not the end-all, be-all.
No, you have to be open.
The joy of working here and having all these brands is that we get to play with all of them. And then we get to tell you guys about how cool they are. Yeah. And it might not be the brand that you have, but that doesn't make it any less cool, okay? There are cool things, you know. You can like both watermelon and grape flavored lollipops or popsicles.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You can like chocolate and vanilla.
Yeah. I was like that with SoundStream for 25 years.
There you go.
I was like that with Orion. I am totally guilty. Don't get me wrong.
You're blind like this?
Totally blind, man. It was like, Orion, what? Orion, what? Orion.
Do you want to check this one?
Orion.
Yeah, it's Orion.
Oh, you don't have Orion? Oh, you suck.
Hi from UK. I'm running a DM.
Rams. Okay, now I get that. Football team.
Exactly.
There you go.
There you go. That's it. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
All right.
PRVs are much louder than Scarf.
Exactly. Some people like PRVs.
Yeah,
exactly.
PRV.
Yeah.
Dude, when we were at Daytona 2 years ago and the PRV truck was there, that was like walking into a wall of razor blades.
Yes.
I mean, you're just like coming. I'm gonna be real careful because I hurt myself last night. But you're just walking along. It's like, oh God, whoa, oh.
It's just like,
dude, it was just
RE audio.
So
exactly.
bad, man.
It's
it was
just
crazy.
Like, it's a lot of brands.
MMX. See?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good brands out there and a lot of fun you can have. Just keep an open mind sometimes. It's all we ask because we get so wrapped up in that it's like, no. There's other stuff. You know, hey, I like pizza, but I also I used to like hamburgers. I don't like them anymore because they have red meat and I don't eat that stuff.
But it's not like that you don't like it. It's like
no, I still look at it and go,
just
gosh, I remember those days.
Yeah, that's
that was so much fun. All right, anybody got some lettuce? You know, can I get a nice piece of chicken? Yay!
Electro Boys. Oh,
yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, now we're getting old.
Woo.
All right. If you say it's good, I'll buy it. Okay. Well, and you know, that brings up another point, Scott.
That's good.
Thank you for saying
that.
Yeah. And we know that, and that's why we are real specific about when we get all gooey about something, because I am not going to mislead anyone and sit there and say, oh, yeah, this is amazing. No, that's not how it works. If the product sucks, the product sucks. Yeah. We might be like, yay, okay, and we won't be excited about it. Like when you watch the video that we did on the kicker key, okay, we were generally excited about that product because it sounded freaking incredible. And even when Haley goes, hey Dad, do you want to drive? I go, yes. You know, and I'll be like, what? Yeah, because it sounds that good, and it still amazes me that product can do that. So we know that when we recommend something, it has to be something that I would put in my car. If it's not, then it just kind of is like, and we have this, you know. So that's one way to tell if something's kick ass. We're gonna be like,
you know,
woo,
if you like one brand, awesome, man. Yeah, awesome, cool.
But yeah. By brand, Scott. By Branule. Okay. Now we're getting too far. Okay.
All right. Hi from UK. I'm running a DMX 7017 DAPS with an Android Auto. Do you know if your Kenwood will ever support screen mirroring via firmware update? using the Media Links HDMI and the CAC3AV cable.
What kind of radio? The Kenwood.
That's a Kenwood. I don't think they're gonna do that.
No.
I don't know in UK.
No.
Maybe in
there'll
UK
be no
different.
updates. There'll be no updates to add features. Period.
Okay.
There will be no updates to add features to a radio if it doesn't already exist in the radio. That's plain and simple. They will not. They will only push updates that fix problems. They will not push updates to fix add features. It's just not going to happen. That's not how they roll. We know this because we've had conversations with them about something. They're just like, that's not what we do. Because it would have been real easy of them if you had a, 9902? Yeah. And I think the 9903 was the first thing that introduced the OK screen that goes away after 8 seconds or some silly number like that. And we're like, well, can we get, no. What do you mean no? Well, no, our engineers won't go back and do that. Why not? Well, because they're not going to. And it was like, well, okay. So, but we've asked for features that, no, we're not going to do it. Kenwood is really cut and dry. What you get is what you get. And then when they decide to drop something, it's gone.
It's gone.
You know? It's like a conversation I was having with Alpine years ago. They used to have an alarm that interfaced with the radio, so you could you could see you could change things on the alarm, and you could see the last event recall on the radio. It was really cool. Well, then they came out with a new radio, and that feature was magically gone. And we're like, well, what happened? And they were like, well, okay, think of it like this. When we were designing the product, and we had all these things on the table of, like, we need to do this, we need to do that, that one, we just kind of put underneath the table, and we're like, let's just forget that exists. And that's how these manufacturers are. That was the 9904 that had the... Okay, cool. Thanks, Jason. I couldn't remember. It's the 4, the 3, the 5. They're all... I just miss mine. I just miss it. Made a mistake in going with punch separates recently after people say how good. I'm not a fan of the sound and looking for something more warm sounding. Try the... okay. Warm usually means a little bit less in your face. Punch is for a specific customer, and when we talk about punch, we usually tell you what type of customer that is. Like, we just did the truck when we were talking the F-250, and we were talking about how they want it loud, so we were doing some power series with an extra tweeter, and it was going to be in your face, and it's like imaging not there. It's like, ah! That's what punch is. Punch is the American speaker. It's like, got a can of beer, going to a party, going to be like, yeah, woohoo, we're going to party, you know? And that's what punch does, and they do it well, and they're exceptional at it. Something with a cloth tweeter is probably going to be more your speed. If you're looking for something that sounds warmer, or a little bit richer, a little bit where the tweeter and the mid-range kind of meet closer, it's not like this, it's more like this, then you're going to want to look at something like, let's say, if you want to be reasonably priced, something in the Alpine line, either like an R or an X, or if you want to be a little bit more money, check out, there again, Morel. Morel has a cloth tweeter in it that sounds really, really nice. So that has a metal tweeter in it. So, or a really stiff tweeter in the X2s. So, something to think about there.
Okay, with the gauges in the Maestro RR, without the VSS and the GPS hookup, what do I lose? I'm assuming it's a
4400. You don't lose anything on the Maestro side of things. Nothing. You don't lose anything. It has nothing to do with Maestro. If you have a 4400, we got to shoot this video. Maybe we got to pull that radio out of my car this week So we're gonna shoot this video. So there's two ways to hook up a 4400. Yeah. Okay. And the reason why this is such a hot button topic is because the 4400 was the first time that they took the navigation software pack, took the navigation out and put it into an AVH radio, and then didn't give you a way to interface a bypass into it. Yeah. So, yay, fun. So if you buy one with navigation, it's simple. Hold the screen in the bottom corner and yay, magically unlocks everything. But in the past, an AVH radio, which is non-nav, you'd do the on-off-on with the emergency brake, and yay, everything would be unlocked, and it'd be great. But the 4400, because Apple wants you to have a VSS wire, for those who don't know what VSS is, Vehicle Transmission Speed Pulse. Basically, it's a wire in the car that does this and tells the computer how fast the car is going through these pulses, okay? So the radio can see that. And why that's useful is because between the GPS antenna and the VSS wire, if your phone is like me and is in my pocket and it can't see the sky, and it can use that GPS antenna and that VSS wire to accurately move you down the street using the phone. Now, modern GPS systems like Garmin's and the ones built into the radios, they haven't needed this stuff for years because the GPS is out here on the dash, it can see the sky, there's enough satellites, it's cool. Phones, for some reason, a little bit weird, I guess. I don't know, or it's a power thing. Either way, Apple thought it was nice to put the VSS wire back into the radios, and that would be why we don't have wireless CarPlay on a Kenwood radio this year, but we will next year. Anyways, so what happens is if you have a 4400 and you hook it up the way it's supposed to be hooked up, guess what? You don't get DVD. You don't get any video playback whatsoever because that VSS wire is hooked up and that GPS antenna is hooked up and it knows you're moving. There's no way to cheat the system like you can on the nav system by simply holding the corner of the radio. So, if you're going to use it for CarPlay or Android Auto and you want it to work like that, you got to hook it up like that. Otherwise, you have to leave your phone out here where it can see the sky to get good reception. Okay. Now, if you're going to leave the phone out here, you can get good reception. Then you can leave the GPS antenna out and the VSS wire disconnected, and you can actually watch a DVD while you're moving if that's something you feel you need to do.
There you go.
So what you're essentially doing is you're hooking up a 4400 like a 4200. That's it. That's the whole thing. Now, when you connect an iData RR, it has no effect on it whatsoever because the iData AR is outputting that information for the radio to use. It's not outputting it or interfacing with the radio to give you the information on the radio. That's done in a whole different thing. It has nothing to do with any of that.
Do you always put the passive crossovers next to the amplifier, next to the amp install? No.
Not always.
No. It's just convenient sometimes. Sometimes we put it on the center console, on the top.
They move around.
In my car, it's actually in the doors because there's no way. Well, it's just
and if they do go in the doors, they don't. They go into the door panel, not into the door itself.
Yes,
so
exactly.
It's always got to be in a dry place. A lot of the times when we put them next to the amplifiers, it's just out of convenience and aesthetics. It looks pretty. Plus now, like you're putting in a set of K2s or these Morels. Do you see the size of these crossovers? These are gigantic, and at least we know when we put them out there, they're not gonna, they themselves are gonna create noise. But most of the amplifiers are shielded for that noise, but they're not gonna be up in a dash next to a computer that's gonna be bleeding out all kinds of noise that those coils and caps could pick up or radiate out or just create some nonsense. So, we try to be smart about where we're putting them.
All right, Richard, 1976. Finally got my TWQ, the Torque ADA, in my Tacoma. I'm wondering if that's something I could get tune and amp gain set from you guys. If you're local.
Hold on real quick. Robert, you're not alone on that 9703 and the Pandora thing. That's actually a real common problem with that. I don't know what it is.
Well, Richard, if you're local, or you can call Paul and schedule an appointment, and we can set some gains and try to tune it a little bit, see what you do. But just call Paul to the store.
I love Andrew's question. He goes, "Why are crossovers different sizes? Alpine Type R small. Is it cost? It's not cost. Actually, the Alpine Type R crossovers and the X crossovers, they're very expensive crossovers to make. Alpine uses some of the best components for their crossovers. Their crossovers are really, really special crossovers. They use high-end stuff. But what it comes down to is it's kind of like what we were just talking about. Doesn't that look pretty? Doesn't it look pretty? It looks pretty, right? You could easily take this crossover and cut it into the two components that it needs to have. The difference is they don't want to do that. They want to put it all into this little pretty box, and yay, isn't it pretty? But you'll see more and more manufacturers are starting to not do that. So like when you look at Focal with the integration series, they've taken a cue from Alpine, and they now make their crossover components in two separate components. So you have the tweeter side, and you have the mid-range side.
Frank, we don't sell MTX I don't know how much is the MTX Terminators. Terminators, and
awesome.
you know, and the DS18 headrest monitors. So like we say, we only carry a little bit of the DS18, like a loudspeaker, so we don't get really into it.
Dude,
of the whole line. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff, but yeah, that will be that we like. I don't want to say it's worth the money, because honestly, never play with that. So, but anyways, what does the crossover do?
Good question. We actually have a video on this where we break it down. I think it's called bass blockers or caps. But anyways, think of a crossover as a traffic cop for sound, okay? So each speaker has its frequencies that it's capable of playing. So like a tweeter, it's gonna play tick, 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 tick sound, and the mid-range is gonna play our vocal, and the mid-bass is gonna play deep sound, and then a subwoofer needs to play bass. Now, these speakers all need to see these frequencies. Some speakers are designed a little bit different, where a mid-range can play all the way up and it naturally rolls off. But what a crossover does is it comes in and does this. It goes, whoa, stop. This frequency doesn't go to you, it goes there. This frequency goes to the tweeter, this frequency goes to the mid-range. Yeah. Now, there's different types of crossovers. You have active and passive. Active is something you're going to use like a DSP for, or a radio, where you go in and you tell it, I want to be at this frequency, at this slope. Slope is how fast that frequency is going to go away. So you have 6, 12, 18, 24 dB, so you can adjust that. And then passive is like what I was just holding, that crossover. That's a passive. The difference between the two is active, you're going to get full power out of the amplifier. Passive, you are going to lose some of the power. Good or bad, doesn't really matter. But yeah, so that's what a crossover does. You need a crossover. Everything in your car that has a speaker has a crossover, whether you see it or not. A tweeter is always going to have a crossover. If you don't put on, you're going to blow it. But yeah, so they just direct the sound where it needs to go.
All right, guys.
Awesome. Well, that brings us to an hour.
Thank you.
It's Saturday night. Awesome. Yeah. It's Christmas. Yeah. So, places. Monday, we're going to do a live show. Remember, we're going to have our special guest from Kicker. We're going to have John Myers from Kicker, as well as the show Overhauling. He was on that for many seasons.
And, of course, Lori.
Lori will be here, too. Yep. I don't know if we'll actually get her
John
to come on for more than 2
too.
seconds, but she's going to be here. D&F Tool Drawer is a place you can find all the cool tools we use. Teespring/store/5 stars, where you can get cool 5-star t-shirts. Christmas is coming. You definitely want to pick those up.
Yep.
Patreon is a place where you can get the video podcast. There's 5 video podcasts up right now. You can also get the audio podcast at iTunes, Podbeam, as well as Google Play. It's just a week older and it's non-video. The video only are for the Patreons. Only Patreons get the video. That's it. No one else will ever get them unless you're a Patreon. It's really cool. The Boring Life of Dean and Haley is what I do on Sundays with my daughter Haley. You guys haven't watched that? You should. It's fun. It's exciting. It's something other than car audio, which, hey, every now and then we need to do something other than car audio. Thanks again, Jason. And then look forward to all the fun that we have. If you guys are tuning in late, go back and watch the beginning where we explain to you.
December is going to be fun.
What's coming up this month and next month. We got shows on shows on shows. Man, this is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it, and we hope you guys are too.
She's not going to sleep, so that's awesome. Let's go.
Yeah, that. You guys have a wonderful night. Be safe. Ubers are cheap. Lyfts are cheap too. Don't do anything silly because we want to see you back Monday.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
What? I'm wearing my 5-star t-shirt right now. Awesome.
Sure.
You guys have a good weekend. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Cut.